Hello everyone, today is January 16th, 2026, and this is a bit of an update video, follow-up update video. So the last video I made, I informed you guys that I had been fired from my job. I was working at Lamb Weston in Quincy, Washington, and they let me go. They fired me. And so, I told you guys all about that and the situation involved. And so in this video, I'm going to be talking about, what am I going to do now? Not just for work, but for life and just kind of in general everything. What's the plan now? Before I get into that, though, I do want to say thank you very much to everyone who donated. From the last video I made, I mentioned that in the last video that there's a PayPal link on my channel page, and so to everyone who donated, thank you very much. And for everyone who showed their support for me, also thank you very much. Everything is very much appreciated. Everyone who watched the video, donated, showed support. I got messages from my friends showing support. From my ex job now. A lot of my friends, they showed a lot of support, and so I really appreciate everything. So what now? So what now? That's the question. What now? So obviously, eventually, I need to get another job. Start working, start making money again. That's kind of an obvious thing, but the question is where? Where to work, even where to live. So initially, because we came out here to Quincy, Washington in November 2023, specifically for me to work at Lamb Weston. We were at that time in Tri-Cities, and we were homeless. My girlfriend, and my son, who's autistic. We were homeless, on the street and begging and all that. And I found a job here in Quincy, Washington, and that's why we came out here, so that I could work, make money, and be a productive citizen. And so now that job is gone, it's sort of like they say, the floor got pulled out from under me. There's no reason for me to for anyone in my family, me, my girlfriend, or my son, to be out here in Quincy, Washington. We have no ties to this city, this area. I mean, even Washington State in general. I mean, we're kind of just like wanderers at this point. We have really no fixed home. I have no job now. So we're a bit of wanderers. So in the last couple of days since I made the last video, I've been thinking about everything. Should we attempt to remain here in Quincy, Washington? Should we leave? Should we leave state? Leave the state of Washington, go to another state. That's kind of been, a long-term plan of ours, anyways, to move out of Central Washington area, wherever it may be. And so I've been thinking about all this stuff, just mulling over everything. And to be honest, there's no concrete plan, because obviously, to move out anywhere, it takes money, a decent amount of money to move, even to another city, let alone to another state. It takes money. And just getting rerouted or uprooted, and then have to get rerouted in a new place. And so it's just a lot of questions: where to go, what to do, where to live. Got a little bit of a cough. Everything. One thing that I do know, I was actually thinking about this morning, is one thing. Actually, a couple things. I was thinking about a couple things this morning, and over the past couple of days. One thing is for certain is I'm definitely not letting this job, them terminating me, firing me, get me down to, I'm not going to be all depressed or of course I have worry, natural, but I'm not going to allow them firing me to dictate my life, basically. And in that, I was like, because you guys know, I like to make videos about random things. Sometimes I'll do a food review, or talk about something, politics, or whatever it may be. I'll make videos about various things. And I was now that I got fired, I kind of was getting in a slump again. In my mind, I was like, now, I don't want to do that anymore. And then that's when I thought to myself, I was like, no, I'm not going to let this job dictate my hopes and dreams, because I've long had, a hope or dream or whatever you want to call it, that one day I would love to be, a content creator, whether doing food reviews or, talking about things. And so, I'm not going to stop making videos. Like I said, I'm not going to let that job dictate my life. And so they're not going to dictate my happiness, not going to dictate my life. And so I'm not going to stop making videos. If I want to make a food review, I'll make a food review. Or if I want to talk to you guys about, what I'm doing right now, about my life, or again, politics, or whatever I want to talk about, basically kind of go back to normal as far as, videos. Because, and then in that too, since I have you, my subscribers, people, followers, I don't want to get back into this slump of just every video is depressing. Oh, I need money, I'm depressed, this and that. I don't want you guys to have to go through that either. So I'm going to attempt to remain upbeat in these videos and positive, and continue to do videos about things that I want to do videos on, and things that that I know that you guys like doing videos on. Like my last video, this is before I got fired. I did a McDonald's review about sauce or something like that. A lot of people watched it, people liked it, and so I want to continue doing it. I'm not going to bring you guys down. I'm not going to let this firing bring me down. And so that's one thing. Okay. And then another thing, like I said, with this job firing me, I'm not letting them dictate my life or anything like this. Like I said, we've long had a plan of, we never really wanted to stay out here in Central Washington. I've gave you guys reasons for that before. I'm not going to get into that. So we want to move out here, and I'm not going to let them change my mind on that either. Okay, so it's a little bit more of an uphill battle now, because I don't have that income, coming in anymore. But I'm not going to let that discourage me or stop me. I'll find income somewhere else. I'll figure out something. I'm a determined individual, and so if I want to move to some other city, or or if we did want to move out of state or something like that, I'm going to figure out a way. Whether it's finding a job somewhere else, or like I said, continue to make these videos, trying to make this into a thing or whatever. So I'm not going to let my job dictate my life, and it's not going to change my goals, my hopes, my dreams, my plans. Nothing like that. Matt's still Matt, and Matt's still gonna be Matt. That's the main thing. There's something else I was thinking about too. Dang it. I need to work on my memory. I'm not gonna stop playing chess. I like playing chess. That's my hobby. That's some of my happiness from. You guys know that. I've had chess videos before, and so I'm gonna keep being me. I'm gonna keep being Matt, and I'm not gonna let them dictate me on that. Man, dang, there was something else I want to talk about. Dang, what was it? I don't have a good memory. So that's kind of the general plan. I don't know precisely what I'm gonna do, where we're gonna go, whatever. Right now, in the United States, it's tax season, so I filled out my taxes. Hopefully, I can get a refund on my taxes. I applied for unemployment. Hopefully I can get that. And I'm just going through the natural steps of what happens when you get terminated from your employment. You apply for unemployment. Like I said, it's tax season, so I fill out my taxes just like I normally do. Like I said, this job is not going to dictate. I'm not going to get in this depression slump like, oh, I don't feel like doing my taxes, or no, do my taxes. No, I did my taxes, and file for unemployment, and just continue to get stuff done, continue to make videos, and all that stuff. So as far as what to do next, that's what's gonna happen next. I'm gonna continue to be me. I'm gonna continue to do Matt, and that's it. There was really something else that I need to write this stuff down. As I'm getting older, my memory's not so great anymore, and I think of okay, I want to talk about this when I make the video. I said thank you for the donations and for all my followers, this and that, and well, that's another video, right? Eventually, I'll think about it. Probably as soon as I hit stop record, I'll think about, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to make a video about. But I really appreciate everyone kind of coming to, a lot of people coming to my defense, my friends from my job, my ex-job, and showing their support either by donating or just texting me and being like, hey Matt, we miss you, and just positive things. And so I really appreciate that from all my friends, my family, everyone who's supported me in the last few days since this happened. So thank you very much. And continue to be me, continue to be Matt. No one's gonna stop me or dictate that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.